been a chance for us to see the museum as it really is designed to be. This museum was created to inspire people to make, to design, to engage in art, and it's rare that any museum gets used to its full potential, but today the V&A has been used to its potential. We've seen thousands of children and families going around the galleries excitedly drawing, parents with children. We've had a diversity of visitors that's unusual for the big nationals to get. And we've also, I suppose, had a sense of the kind of museum that if the makers of the objects we've got here had a chance to say for themselves what they'd like, would be something like the day we've had. I often imagine the makers standing beside the objects they created in the galleries and looking at how often our museums are places where people stand back and observe, but today they've been active, have been using the place, and museums are here to be used. We've certainly had lots and lots of families, and probably more families than we normally would get. We get about 1 in every 4 of our visitors as a family, but today it must have gone up to 1 in 2, I would think. Which is wonderful for us again, because we're investing in the visitors of the next generation and the generation beyond. I think it's empowering them to participate in the museum. Many children we know and many adults as well, if we say to them as individuals, draw in the galleries, will feel very self-conscious about it because they don't see lots of other people doing it. On a day like today with Big Draw, they see hundreds and thousands of other people doing exactly the same thing, so it becomes normal. It's not odd or exceptional or strange to draw. And certainly I know from people I've talked to in the galleries that they feel as though they can do it without feeling self-conscious about it. They can do it because it's fun, because they can see other people having fun as well. So it's broken down a very significant barrier that I think lots of visitors feel they experience when they come into a typical museum and gallery. I think it's this huge range of choices for a start that obviously the things we have in the V&A are almost by definition among the most wonderful objects and most wonderful visual images in the world. But there are thousands, if not millions of them in our collections, and you're bound to find something you can relate to. Certainly whenever I ask a child or an adult, is there something you can see around you which you really particularly love, it's very rare for somebody not to be able to find something that they relate to in a particular way.
Where are you starting with the hair?
Whereas in your normal life, if it's just sort of in the school classroom or something like that, you can ask somebody the same question, and it's very hard for them to answer that and say, I really love that because. Here in the museum you can do that. The fact that people are drawing has been something quite extraordinary really, because through drawing the objects here, they look so much more closely than they normally would do. I mean, you see visitors in museums just wandering around casually and sort of chatting casually, but the intensity of what's been happening has been something quite different today, I think. You see people sitting at quite a young age for 20 minutes, half an hour, very intently with pencil in hand, with the boards to lean on, and looking at objects in a way that I'm sure 1,000 times normally they never would look at in the same way. It's been marvellous for that.
Hopefully these pens will work.
I certainly find it a huge challenge to turn 3 dimensions into 2 dimensions. But again, I suppose it's the fact that you get the chance to get a start on that. You get the examples of the wonderful artists and designers and cartoonists who are here in the galleries with us. And you get the chance to see what other people are doing as well. And you realise that actually you can do more than you think. You have more skill than you think you have. And certainly it's more fun than you very often think it might be as well. So I think it's the first step on the ladder for very many people, and I think lots of people feel that after they've done it once in a place like this, it's much less frightening to come back and have another go later on, perhaps on their own. The strange thing really is that we have created a way of using museums where activity and use is not normal. And what something like Big Draw reminds us of is that actually drawing an activity and participation by the public is the normal thing. There's been a buzz about the galleries, there's been an excitement on the part of the public, which you won't normally get in museums and galleries when they're being used in the more passive way that's typical. The active bit, the drawing bit, should be the norm. The passive and the unparticipative should be the unusual. And I've got a kind of feeling that as the momentum of projects like Big Draw goes ahead, that it'll become more and more usual for museums to be as lively and as vibrant and as exciting as it's been today.